Okay, let's just jump right in. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a truly fascinating and honestly kind of jarring disconnect happening right now in the tech world. We are going to look at the massive, multi-billion-dollar hype machine pushing AI and contrast that with our actual, everyday reality as consumers. You see, the tech industry is absolutely convinced they're building utopia, but the public's reaction? Well, it's telling a completely different story.
Remember back in 2022 when ChatGPT first dropped? For a hot minute, it actually felt like magic, right? It was wild, it was brand new. But today, the spell is definitely worn off. According to recent data, AI's net approval rating among Americans is actually worse than ICE, the country's immigration agency. Seriously, let that sink in. When your shiny new consumer tech is polling worse than a highly debated government enforcement agency, you really have to stop and ask, what exactly went wrong here?
And just how bad is that polling? Well, 2/3 of Americans now believe the risks of AI actually outweigh the potential benefits. 2/3! That is a staggering majority of the country. It creates this massive public opinion problem that tech companies are frankly just ignoring as they keep pushing these tools on us, completely regardless of whether we actually want them.
So, why is the public souring on this so fast? Honestly, it boils down to one word: threats. When everyday people compare AI to something like ICE, it's really a reflection of how they view disruptions to their actual lives. People correctly see AI as a direct threat vector. They see it as a threat to their jobs, a threat to their happiness, and honestly, a threat to their overall success and vitality as human beings just trying to feed their kids and feel secure.
The root of that fear becomes painfully obvious when you listen to the messaging coming from the very top. Picture this: tech leaders and CEOs cheerfully running around, practically bragging about eliminating entire white-collar professions. They're boasting the accountants are gone, the lawyers are gone. But what do everyday citizens get in return? Absolutely no promise of a better life, no extra agency, no extra control. If you destroy the legal profession, what's the payoff for us? Crickets. The only answer seems to be that tech CEOs won't have to deal with as many lawyers. And, shocker, the public does not find that to be a satisfying answer.
So all this pessimism we're seeing, it's not actually about the code. It's not just about the technology itself. It is a direct reflection of how people feel about power. If you're feeling deeply pessimistic about AI, it's very likely because you feel negatively about how that power is being wielded by the billionaires, oligarchs, and politicians forcing this upon us. It's a technology that actively threatens to dehumanize you, so naturally, your feelings toward it are completely tied up in how much you trust the people in charge.
But here's the crazy part. The tech industry is wildly confused by our dislike. Why? Because they are laser-focused on one massive number: 900 million. That is the estimated weekly user base for the free version of ChatGPT. When tech execs see 900 million users, their immediate knee-jerk assumption is, wow, everyone loves this. They look at those usage metrics and genuinely think they are delivering exactly what the market is begging for.
But as Nilay Patel over at The Verge perfectly points out, those massive usage numbers are a total mirage. They're completely inflated. It's not like consumers are waking up every morning and affirmatively choosing to use these tools. It's that they are simply unavoidable. The tech industry's ability to just force products into our daily workflows is so high right now that they've literally forgotten what a genuine consumer choice even looks like.
What we are actually living through is a deeply frustrating illusion of choice. We've all interacted with these products by now. And honestly, the user experience is often pretty terrible. The free versions are getting noticeably worse as companies try to pinch pennies on computing power. You open your social media feed and boom, you're inundated with AI-generated slop. You go to search for something simple, and AI is shoved right to the top of your Google results. We aren't choosing this. We're literally just trying to survive the internet.
So why does the industry just completely ignore this awful user experience? Well, because they suffer from a little something called software brain. This is a genuinely terrifying worldview where the tech industry would much rather you, a messy, complex human being, act like a perfectly predictable computer. They want you to conform your behavior to a machine so you become a legible database. Just neat little rows and columns of predictable habits. Why? Because tech companies know exactly how to write software to manipulate a database and squeeze billions of dollars out of it.
Okay, let's break down exactly how this software brain manifests in the real world step by step. Step 1, they want to hang these always-on AI recording devices around our necks or strap them to our wrists to listen to every single thing that happens in our homes and our meetings. Step 2, they take all those rich human interactions and flatten them down into a massive, lifeless database. Step 3, Write the code to manipulate that data. And finally, step 4, monetize it. They want to turn your messy, unpredictable human life into software, purely because software prints money.
And here is the absolute kicker. Because of this incredibly myopic, hyper-focused software mindset, tech executives don't even realize they have a dehumanizing product. They genuinely look at this massive public backlash and think, oh, you know what? We just have a marketing problem. They honestly believe, and this is the wild part, that the only issue is they just haven't run the right ad campaign yet to convince us that being turned into a 24/7 monetized database is actually a super cool idea.
Because of this massive blind spot, we're seeing a huge disconnect in the market. Look, AI has absolutely found its footing in the enterprise sector. If you're coding software, analyzing giant business trends, or managing back-end healthcare databases, AI is incredibly useful. It's a game changer. But for regular consumers, there is no killer app that justifies turning our lives upside down. The tech industry solved coding and, in their classic myopic way, assumed they had solved everything else. Spoiler alert, they haven't.
And now this digital frustration is spilling over into real, physical, political backlash. 7 in 10 Americans now flat out oppose the construction of new data centers in their communities. Think about that. Consumer sentiment is at an absolute all-time low. People are so fed up that we've even seen extreme, really unfortunate incidents, like Molotov cocktails being thrown at tech CEOs' houses. Opposing the massive physical footprint of these AI data centers is quickly becoming the sleeper political issue of our time.
And you better believe leaders across the political spectrum are taking notes. As former U.S. President Barack Obama recently pointed out, politicians know they completely dropped the ball on regulating social media. And there is a very strong appetite right now to not make that same mistake twice. Cynical politicians looking to gain power know one thing for sure. Standing in front of a massive, wildly unpopular data center and opposing out-of-touch tech billionaires, that is a slam-dunk political winner.
Which brings us to the ultimate question we all need to be pondering. We are watching our physical and digital worlds violently collide in real time. As public backlash continues to grow against a technology that offers us zero agency, will those in power actually step up and finally regulate big tech? Or will everyday citizens simply be flattened into just another monetized database? It is an absolutely critical moment for our future and one we need to be paying very, very close attention to. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today.